Okay, so... Oops. We have 7 extra chapters, oh god. We'll probably... I'm gonna guess they're short. They're probably like little fillers. I do have a dog, someone dropping off dogs here on the way though, so I'm gonna wait till she drops them off before we jump in so I can get the dogs settled. But... all in all, I want more explanation on that game, that ending, which I'm gonna guess is gonna be in the extra chapter 7. But... yeah. Hi. I know. Happy girl. Happy girl, but I'm gonna play games. And hope Ron doesn't let them fight. Okay, everybody just lay down and chill. Everybody just lay down and chill. I'm gonna sneeze. Okay. Everybody lay down. Iris, go lay down. Go lay down. I want everyone to just lay down and relax and relax. And now that the dog storm is settled, hopefully for the moment, I can't say for out there, we're gonna start Extra Chapter 1. Last Waltz. Or Shige. Ah, we're gonna learn how Shige died, I think. So cold. My entire body hurts. That's right, I couldn't move a muscle on my body. It's as if I were paralyzed. I tried to focus my strength into my arms to wake them up, but... my left arm seems to be broken. There isn't the most pain on my left arm and the left side of my head. My shoulders seem to have taken some of the brunt as well. I lay on my stomach and turned my back, and the one muscle still mobile for me. To see an immediate environment full of broken branches and crushed leaves. Oh, looks like I got caught in some of the branches and... my ribs may be broken as well. What an ungraceful sight I must be, and utterly hopeless to boot. I mustn't allow Mayu to see me in such a state. Mayu. Please don't look at me. Stop staring at my insides. Shig, please. That mournful voice playing over my phone, so clearly Mayu's. I just couldn't get the sound of it out of my ears. It haunted my every thought and shook me to my core. Sorrow and anger, hatred and remorse. My head was flooded with a wave upon wave of emotion. I'd allowed my own morbid curiosity to get the better of me, using it as a justification to disrespect or even desecrate the corpses of countless unfortunate victims in the school. What a beautiful specimen. She sparkles so perfectly in the dim light, innards ripe with a red hue that belies the finality of their situation, appears passionate and alive. And her intestines are so thin and twisted. Are you embarrassed to show me what lies beneath your skin, my nameless angel? I shall preserve this perfection on my phone for eternity, for you are truly so unsightly I can't help but gaze upon you. One corpse more than any other corpse caught my eye. However, and this one wasn't just some nameless person I'd never known in life, as I initially assumed. She was a friend who I cherished as I would a sister. She was the light that had kept me moving forward in this dark space. She was Mayu Suzumoto, but now she was a stain. Her light had been snuffed, leaving only darkness in my heart. Mayu. I'm sorry, Mayu. I cried with every last bit of my soul, penetrating the ugliness of my own physical form as I lay there, bruised and broken and covered in my own vomit. The pungent stench of bile filled my nose. Mayu. The tears kept on streaming. I was sobbing so hard, and though possibly broken ribs no less, that my airways had backed up, causing me to break out into fits of coughing. A sudden gust of wind shook the leaves of the trees around me, chilling my body and soul and filling my ears with the sound of rustling leaves. My head hurts. I feel sick. I had to move. I knew that if I didn't, I would wither and die here, besmirched by my blood and contents of my own stomach. I attempted to stand, but the pain was disheartening. Blast it. I balanced myself on my right arm, and with excruciating effort, I was able to forcibly climb back to my feet. I put my hand on the nearest tree, using it as a crutch with which to support my weight as I relearned the mere art of remaining upright under these new physical restrictions. Glancing back toward the school, I noticed a rusty tub next to the wall. It was full of water from the near constant rain. Every step I took brought with it a new and more intense pain, but I took those steps nonetheless, approaching the tub slowly and methodically. I squatted in front of it and pulled my face close to the water's surface. Cupping some rainwater in my right hand, I splashed my face, attempting to wash up as best as I could. Another gust of wind shook the tree branch, but this time brought with it a gift, a large plastic bag, which somehow found its way to my foot and got itself caught thereupon. I stared at it for a time, pondering what paltry favor fate had brought me, but ultimately chose to keep it on my person as I painstakingly made my way back to the school building. I entered through the connection corridor between the main building and its annex and resumed my wandering through the dark, empty halls. The only sound I could hear was that of my own footfalls. From whence does this foul odor emanate, if not from all corners of this place? And just how many living, breathing humans being remain within its walls? Mochida, Kushinuma, Nakashima, Shinohara, and the class rep, Miss Yui, and Mochida's sister. I haven't seen any of them for quite some time now. Have they all perished? Am I the sole survivor? It isn't an unreasonable proposition. Surviving in a place like this requires no small amount of determination. I peered into a random classroom through its broken door, and the first thing I saw was a hefty stack of corpses, each wearing a sailor tailor school uniform. Now, for what I do know is that his original death in the main one was him crashing himself against a window until he fell out, thus how he ended up outside. He somehow broke a window. Finally! Each wearing a sailor kit. Bodies here as well. I don't recall them from before. Such an odd space this is, devoid of day and night alike. It's as if time has stopped, though it clearly hasn't. Corpses decompose here as anywhere else, eventually turning to bone. This truly is a wretched place. Perhaps I'll be among the rotting masses tomorrow. As I walked along the old, run-down halls, a scent not unlike rusted steel began to grace my nose, growing stronger and stronger as I approached my destination. And then there I was, the point where the hall formed its S-shape. And it was an unmatched sight that would turn an ordinary man's stomach. Fortunately, mine had already been turned. Twisted and thoroughly emptied, freeing me to enjoy the view. Sorry, I'm late. I've come to pick you up, Mayu. I knelt before the splattered chunks of human flesh on the well, as if in reverence, and opened the large plastic bag fate had bequeathed to me. There you are, Shig. What on earth kept you? I wasn't the only one waiting, you know. Teach wanted to see you perform too. It's like I said earlier, acting is always so dazzling and full of life, whether I'm standing right next to you or watching from afar. You flatter me. Not at all. I just don't want you to miss your big chance, you know? I'm sure there's a lot of crap to deal with, but well, I just think there's an equal amount of good that could come of it too. And it wouldn't just be for you, but for those of us who feel energized when they see you act, like me. So come on, let's go. I know you can do it. When I was young, I was highly prone to sickness, which resulted in me spending an inordinate amount of time home alone. My parents were so busy, they rarely ever had time for me. So I've learned that when I know my expectations aren't to be met, I'm better off expecting nothing from the very start. This guiding philosophy made it easier for me to cope with the time I was forced to spend by myself, and ultimately I came to prefer my own company, willfully locking myself away. Generally, when one's child behaves in such a manner, a responsible parent would exhibit some sign of worry, no, but mine did not. My father is a doctor, so his time at home was always at a premium, and in the rare instances we would talk, he would only ask questions of me, as if it were just another of his patients. To me, he was less a father and more a physician. Keep them with him, maybe? I mean, I think he loved her in a crazy, weird way. I rarely spoke, and I never smiled, and this terrified my mother, whose interaction with me were always tentative and hesitant if she were dealing with some rare disease. This environment shaped me into a person I am, a person distrustful of his own parents. The only family member in whom I had full confidence was my grandfather. But after he passed away, I had no one. I withdrew completely until I met Mayu. If I hadn't met her, I may never have known the joys of acting. Let's be together forevermore, Mayu. You should be all here right now, right? Wait, it's not here. Where could it be? Mayu, your hairpin is missing. Where is it? Where did it go? I frantically searched the immediate area, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Did someone take it? Blast. I'm sorry, Mayu. I know it must be somewhere around here. I'll find it for you, I swear. Kizami. I'm beginning to think I'm the only person still alive in here. It hurts. It hurts. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Why me? I did nothing wrong. Again? Die. Everybody just die. Damn it, it's your fault. It's all your fault. The hell it is. You're the one to blame. Everything's all your fault. Mommy, Mommy! I can't stop the bleeding. I can't stop it. You're the one who climbed up there just because you could. This isn't anyone's fault. I mean, you climbed it too. But we fell because you pulled me. You're the one who pulled. Nuh-uh. Yaha. Children, in reality, are merciless creatures consumed with greed. The way they react when they've been cornered is what truly fascinates me. But those who have died and possess no physical body anymore are nothing more than balls of pure malice and regret, unsightly and most avoided. When the spark of life is attached to a body, only when it is able to shine its brightest and appear its most beautiful. I simply have no time for the dead. As I approached the auditorium, I heard a voice echoing from within. Is someone there? I looked inside and saw a young man standing on the stage wearing a uniform of a different school. He held a plastic bag in his hand, which seemed to be standing in for a co-star. This night on Northern Polaris, I do vow its distant glowing a light on thy cheeks. For you my deepest feelings to opine, my heart and soul cast of your worthy feet. 'Twas at that masquerade our love disbloom without reserve, faceless in your guise. Anon our families quarrel, but my fate is to be drowned deep in thy endless eyes. So song to song we danced, our warm embrace shook loose and last resistance of our heart, and when our lips exchanged the softest brush, it were a dream surpassing all man's art. Regret I bear for parting there with thee, when all my instinct was to steal away. Beneath night's cover tarnished our names, what need have we of names come break of day? This mad desire that burns within my heart, eternally full fits it seems to burst. My habit burst long past, and now I stare upon thee with eyes of one unmade. Oh, couldst I fly to thee this very night, yet in my flight perhaps thou were dismayed. The stars in their high seats burn bright this night, as though the future twixt us now to tell. My heart is restless, stricken with blah blah blah, with such terror as visions of our failure might impart. Thou art my greatest love, as blue's the sky, yet fate grips me and thee to drive apart. Wherefore cannot we meet as lovers meet? Wherefore dost thou our hearts refuse to cross? Answers, I implore you, stars above, why torment thou us so with hard loss? Her hands, her feet, her lips, her being in whole is perfect, and insculpted by God's hand. Eden sculpted. The lily's purity exposed, laid bare that predators may force their way within. Okay, I don't really want to read all this. Blah, blah. The man slowly painstakingly dropped to one knee as he soliloquy such as he would. He began drawing his lips towards the plastic bag until I made him realize he had an audience. Who's there? Not a bad performance. I had no idea you were such a skilled bard. You're Yuya Kizami, was it? You remember my name. I'm flattered. Never imagined we truly would meet again, however. I suppose those of like mind have a certain bond in here. Don't let me in with you. I'm not like you at all. Oh? Your knife. It has blood on it. Oh my, I forgot all about that. Oh, that's right. Your interests lie in taking photos of the dead with your phone, don't they? Sakutaro Morishige from Kasiragi Academy High School, if I'm not mistaken. I see. So you are watching me after all. Far be it from me to just criticize your pastime. Getting excited by the sight of corpses is certainly unique. Well, I suppose there's no harm in you knowing taboos don't exist in a twisted land such as this. Very true. It's up to each of us how best we use the time we have left in here. And you've chosen to run around killing people with yours? Oh, come now. You speak as if I'm some kind of serial killer. But I'll kill those who catch my interest. I rose by another name. I'm sure those who've caught your interest thus far would have no qualms calling you what you are. You speak as if this doesn't concern you. I see. Am I a person of interest, then, for your amusement? Let's just say you're a contender. I'm not the only one killing people, you know, and in the end there's no difference between whether you're killed by a living or dead, is there? In fact, I suppose being killed by the dead is a far more brutal experience. Consider, for example, the girl who wore this hairpin in life. Don't tell me you knew her. Would you give that to me? Ah, so this is the memento of the girl you love. No. Then why do you want it? Because... Why should I bother explaining myself to you? I must have struck a nerve as I was suddenly being attacked. Not that he was partially good at it, though. I had no trouble at all dodging. Watch it now. I wouldn't lunge at a man with a knife if I were you. I tossed the hairpin across the room, then grabbed Moshige's right arm and began twisting it. Let go, that really hurts. But if I let you go, you're just going to attack me again, aren't you? Shut the hell up, just let go of me. And why would I do that exactly? My prey has been caught. It would be such a waste if I were simply to open the trap and return to the wild so soon. I placed the knife against his cheek. Answer my question. The owner of that hairpin, what is her relation to you? What is your relation to her? Why do I have to answer a question like that? Don't get smart with me. I don't like smart. I twisted his arm even further. It looks like it must really hurt. Maybe you should hurry up and answer my question. Bastard. Mayu is like a little sister to me. We've always been together. Oh, so that past of a dead girl's name is Mayu, then. That paste. Mayu's not dead. Huh? Mayu's not dead. She's not. What's so funny? What's so funny? Are you honestly telling me that a girl smeared on the wall isn't dead? One little stab in the gut is usually enough to take someone out, you know. Life is fragile enough even when it's mostly intact, but that's not even recognizably human anymore. How exactly is she not dead? Mayu's alive. I know she is. Shig. I hear her from my phone. I heard Mayu's voice. She's alive. Look, she's right there. Are you telling me that bag? I just couldn't find her hairpin, so for that, I'm very grateful. Now let go. Let go of me. Clearly attempting to ignore the pain in his right arm, Moroshige bent and contorted his body until I could no longer hold on to him, eventually shoving me out of his way. Blood streamed out from the spot on Moroshige's cheek when I'd held the knife. It must have dug into his skin a bit during the struggle. With much effort, he stumbled his way over to where Mayu's hairpin landed. Shig. No, I have all of you. Shig, that's enough. That's enough. I finally found your hairpin, the one you were always wearing. This is absurd. You're just placating yourself, deluding yourself. All you have is a clump of meat you found in the hallway. Did this Mayu ask you to gather her up into a bag? Was that truly what she wanted from you? Be quiet. It's just your demented little way of soliciting forgiveness. You weren't able to protect her, so now you're desperately trying to atone for that. Shut your mouth! You were there for her in her time of need. You weren't there for her in her time of need. You basically just let her die. Moroshige was trying to look strong and in control up until now, but his cracks were starting to show. They always do after a time. She probably hates you for it, you are. After all, the man who failed to save her from a gruesome demise. I don't feel that way at all. I ran into some ghostly children just before coming here, and they were saying some rather hostile things. If their grudges weren't any indication, then this Mayu is likely standing next to you right now, telling you to hurry up and die already. No, that's not true, Shig. You're right, you have to be. I couldn't protect her. I let my precious, precious Mayu die. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It was all me. I was the one who felt bad for those children and let myself get trapped by them. I was so lonely, so very lonely. I just needed someone to talk to. I should have listened to Shinozaki and Kishinuma. I would have been happy if I'd just been able to see you one last time, though. She meant so much to you, and you allowed her to die, all alone. From this point on, you'll need to live with the guilt of that failure until the day you die. Or you can atone for your sins and take your own life, in which case I believe I can be of assistance. Stop. Mayu. I want Shig to live. Don't speak for me, you awful man. I don't know how— you don't know how I feel. Mayu. I loved you, you know. I was always too embarrassed to say it, but if I'd known this is how things would end, I would have. Mayu. That's why I don't want you to wind up like that, like I did, okay? Moroshige stared at my knife for a time, then reached out and grabbed it. Don't do it, Shig. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you. I love you. Shig. And just like that, he stabbed himself in the chest. And with that little strength he had remaining, he then pulled the knife from his body. Blood poured from his wound, staining the area around him a deep crimson. Please, no, 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 no! Iris, no. Everybody lay down. Mayu, let's be together. Moroshige fell to the floor, his eyes still wide open once his body stopped writhing. I slowly walked over to his body. I then removed my knife from his hand and shook the blade from its blade. Shook the blood from its blade. Shook the blade from its blade. Shaky, shaky. Death is what divides humans. It returns us all to nothing. It can neither bring us eternal peace or eternal suffering. Rocky, you don't rub against the camera. I'm glad this could come in handy. So tragic yet so beautiful was the melancholic waltz we danced to here today, Morishige. Goodbye. Soulful Testimony from Yuka Nanri has been unlocked. Soulful Testimony from Tetsuya Kakihara has been unlocked. Well, on to extra 2, I guess.